I feel like in life there's a price to pay for everything, but do you pay a price if you use that overdraft on your Uber's Pro card? Well, we're going to talk about that. Now, first, for those that do not know, my name is Ash and I'm a gig worker here on the South Shore of Montreal, Quebec. And currently I do work for Uber Eats, DoorDash, and Skip the Dishes. Now, I will be honest, I don't use the Uber Pro card. And that Pro card kind of works as a debit Visa, but what it allows is instead of the funds going directly to your bank account, it goes directly on this card. And with this card, for example, you can get cash back at the gas terminals, etc., etc. Now, my brother is a big user of the Uber Pro card. And so because of this stuff, I know a lot of information from him and him using it. Now, there is a $50 overdraft on this card. And for those that are not familiar with an overdraft allows you to exceed a $0 limit on your bank account based on the amount provided. So if you're allowed $50, you can go from 0 to negative 50 on a bank account or a credit source or whatever that means, because the creditor is allowing you to do so. So in this case, Uber Pro allows their clients, because you're still a client essentially, to do so, or their drivers. Now, the price to pay for this is you don't pay a price. So let's say you're minus negative 50 and you continue to be negative 50 because you stopped doing deliveries. Do I have to pay a fee? Well, no, but here's the problem. If you use the $50 overdraft and you don't do gig work for 2 months, the problem is that unless you make $700 a month on Uber Eats doing deliveries, you will not have access to those funds again. And the first $50 you make when you go back out and do deliveries goes towards that overdraft payment. Of course, you got to pay back what you borrow. But the good part is that they're not slapping fees on you for doing so. Now, that's different compared to regular overdrafts. If you have an overdraft with your bank account, what they do is they don't penalize you in the sense that you can't use it again if you hit your limit. They charge a certain amount per month to use it. Normally, honestly, it's a couple of bucks. But with Uber and their Uber Eats Pro card or their Uber Pro card, they work differently. They don't charge a fee, but they don't allow you it back until you make up the certain amount that they request per month, which in this case with Uber Eats is $700. So there's no price to pay, but if you're not out doing deliveries with them, you are paying a price, because without $700 per month, you're not getting access to that again, which to me, I think it's a fair trade, because honestly, if I'm not working for the company, I don't expect to get that benefit or that perk from the company. But you let me know in the comments below. 1, do you use the Uber Pro card? Still to this day, I still not signed up with it because I have a really hard problem with giving Uber my money on any card that they associate with. But 2, do you use that overdraft? And if so, have you noticed any inconvenience with you? Like, for example, have you been charged a fee? Because from my knowledge, they don't charge a fee, but who knows? Could be different from Canada versus the US, etc., etc. So comment below. Let me know. Is Uber charging you a fee when you're using their overdraft? And I'll catch you lovelies in the next video.